Yo, 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 big up. Shout out to each and every one of you coming in. Here's listening, welcoming for all as a Manchester fans of Manchester United, bis Deutsche. You know your boy, Trini boy Marken, in the building, straight out of Dusseldorf at this current moment. Guys, shout out to each and every one of you. I hope you're having a great day. It's going to be an interesting stream today. And of course, you can see right next to me what we're going to be talking about to open this stream. Big up to each and every one of you. Let's get it in because it's going to be an interesting one. And of course, we're going to have some talks. And of course, your boy, like a lot of people, we got it wrong. We didn't get it wrong, but we got blocked over. Baleba blocked by Brighton, guys. It was a terrible, terrible situation for Man United. They tried their endeavor best to sign the player, but the move was blocked by Brighton. Brighton certainly said we are not selling this player. There's no figure Brand United can come with that will get this player out of the club this summer. We have plans, and he is not allowed to leave. And this is what it came down to. Now, the only thing can change the situation is if the player was to push and ask, put in a transfer request. But there are some rumors that Brighton is certainly trying to offer this player a new contract so they can sneak in a clause into his deal that will make a release clause somewhere in the region of 95 million pounds or 105 million pounds. That is the range that they're hearing right now. Let's see what happens there, guys. But as the guy around me and to the right, Adam Wharton next to Kobe Mainu. Will that be something we will be seeing in the future? It might possibly very well be, guys, because there are reports that Man United had scouts in attendance in the Crystal Palace game versus Chelsea this weekend, where Adam Wharton again stole the show after stealing it just a just a week ago at the opening against Liverpool in the Community Shield. It's been interesting. The player has been seeing progressive performances of improvement each and every time he takes the pitch. And of course, he has caught the eye of Man United. It hasn't just been now, but it's been a long time coming. Man United have said to been scouting this youngster since he was 15 years old. And of course, they're with the refusal to sell by Brighton, it seems that Man United are ready to act on this interest in Adam Wharton. Will they make a move? Well, there's certainly reports that there is possibility that Crystal Palace will accept a bid in the region of 70 million pounds for the player. So that changes a lot of things because now Man United has a figure set in stone that they can attack. And if this proves anything to any fans of our transfer window this summer, if there's a figure and Man United can make the deal done, they will get it done. It's going to be very interesting. Mace Windex thinks that Wharton is not that guy. Mace, brother, tell me what you're thinking. Let me know how you feel about Adam Wharton. Let me know your thoughts. We don't need a Hoyland 2.0. Is he a Hoyland 2.0? Mace Windex says, Baleba or bust. Go home, in other words, is what he's saying. Shout out to Frankie in the building that says Humlin all the way, plus cheaper so we can get a proper GK. Well, what I can tell you about Morten Hulman. Well, the reports are that Morten Hulman, let me just double check this, guys. Hold on really quickly because I really don't want to get this wrong. If I get this wrong, it's going to be a difficult situation. I might just get laughed at. You know what I mean? I just want to confirm what I saw because, yeah, guys, it could get interesting with Morten Hulman. And it's interesting. Man United is certainly interested in the player. What I can say is that Man United, Ruben Amorim certainly has a special place in his heart for Morten Hulman, as he once coached the player at Sporting. Everyone knows he's been a very interesting talent there. His performances has been great, and of course, he would probably be the perfect DM for Amorim's midfield. Now, the interesting reports. One second. I just want to make sure that I have the actual the actual information right there, because it's so interesting what they were saying about this guy. I know Transfer Market says the player is has a 45 million euro value, but it for some reason the what I have been told, I just wanted to confirm, is that I believe he has a release clause for somewhere about 75 million euros or 85 million euros, something like that. I'm not too sure. Let me just double check, guys. One second. Sorry about that, guys. Really sorry. I apologize. Yeah, guys. So according to what I've heard, guys, I'm sorry. According to what they're saying, that there's possibly a release clause for in the region of 85 million euros for Morten Hulman from Sporting, and Sporting does not want to sell the player. I don't know, guys. It will be interesting. Miss, to be honest, broski, I can tell you, Man United was willing to pay 78 million pounds plus 22 million pounds in add-ons, and this was the bid negotiated after, or their 70 million pound bid was rejected. 70 million pounds plus 10. That was rejected. They offered 78 million pounds plus 22 million pounds in add-ons. They said they would hit 100 million. Easy achievable add-ons. Brighton said, no. Man United said, if we pay 100 million pounds over the 5 years and give you an additional 20 million pounds, they still said no. The player's not for sale. So I can't say Man United got your hopes up, bro. They got they did their best. They tried to live up to your hopes, in my honest opinion. You know what I mean? But really and truly, Baleba did not say I want to leave. So he did not put it on the club. And in a sense, it's a bit frustrating, broski. Big up the brush in the building. Shout outs to you guys. But yeah, there's reports that there's an 85 million euro release clause or expected buy clause from Sporting on Morten Hulman, and they're not open to selling the player just yet. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Of course, Man United and Ruben Amorim certainly appreciates Morten Hulman, but I think, based on the proximity of price between Morten Hulman as well as Adam Wharton, I think the club might consider getting Adam Wharton, as he is just 19 or 20 years old, or 21, something like that. I think the club and the higher ups are more ready to invest in this talent, who they've seen doing it week in, week out in the Premier League. I know Morten Hulman is Amorim's favorite. I can tell you, he loves Baleba, but he believes in Morten Hulman as well. So let's see. The club has said that shout outs to you, Broski. Wharton is 21. So the club has said that they will go back in for Baleba in January or in the summer. I expect them to honor those words. But if we can get someone, we have to consider someone who can partner that guy. You know what I mean? I think he and Morten Hulman would be competing for a starting role. I don't think Baleba and Morten Hulman would actually play together. It might be a little bit too defensive, in my honest opinion. I could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Big up, says Baba Flossie. Only if the club had acted sooner in the transfer window, it was a late decision, which shows how the incompetence at the scouting level. But Baba Flossie, I don't think that's incompetence at the scouting level. I think that's incompetence at the negotiating level, because I think the ones who negotiate the deals and who choose the timing to negotiate deals are the ones above. The guys like Wilcox and these guys. He was off in America on tour when he should have been doing deals, in my honest opinion. I cannot lie. But like I did say to you guys, Christopher Vivell was on his in Germany doing the deal for Benjamin Sesko. They could have had someone in England doing the deal for Baleba as well. I'm one of those guys that think that there's some reason why clubs only do singular deals. There's few situations where club do double deals. Chelsea is one of those clubs that does a lot of double deals, and maybe Man United needs to work on that, guys. But I think we are mistaking the management level decisions with scouting. These same scouts are the guys who brought the likes of Baleba, Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo, Julian Alvarez, and Kunku. They brought these guys who like the guy who plays in left back for Man City, Cherky, all these guys. They brought these guys to Man United first. I reported early on in the summer in May, before the window was open, that Man United was offered Ryan Cherky at a cut price. It would have costed Man United just about 19 million pounds to sign Ryan Cherky, and we refused. The scouts brought Cherky. Cherky offered himself to Man United. This is why he said what he said, because we refused him. We said, no, we don't think. Wilcox said, nah, he doesn't think you're good enough. You know what I mean? We don't think you're fit for the Premier League, is what Wilcox said to the guy. But what can I say, guys? I think it's a weird one. I don't think the higher ups really listen to the scouts as they should. Because when you hear reports of certain players that they were offered to Man United earlier in their career, but Man United didn't deem them worthy to be signed, these are out of the scout's hands. The scout's responsibility is getting the player to the club to trials and then telling the DOF or the sporting director that this player is a player that we should be signing. And then from there, it's where the sporting director or the DOF says, yeah, we're going to take a chance on this player and sign him to a preliminary deal. So it's one of those things, guys. It's not something, it's not what you guys think. I think the scouts have been getting a lot of lazy blame by a lot of YouTubers who really don't know what they're talking about. They think they know what they're talking about, but they really don't know. Because I can show you facts. I can show you facts that prove that there are 7 players, including Gvardiol, that were brought to Man United and offered to Man United under Ralph Ragnick. And he was going to pay 60 million pounds for a total of 7 players. And if I name those 7 players, none of those players were sold for less than 60 million pounds. None of them. Some of them were even sold for 100 million pounds. I think 3 of them. It's a wild one, guys. Shout outs to D-Up Sports. Admiral Drex is in the building. Of course, shout out to you, broski. Shout out to Baba Flossie in the building. Shout out to Ray Carl as well. Big up, bro. What's good? What's good? Interesting times, guys. Interesting times. Now that we talked about the Belieber situation and we talked about the possibility, because Man United is heavily interested in Adam Wharton, and they sent scouts to look at him to further compound their decision, which will be being made in the next 24 hours. And I think if they confirm, a bid will certainly be going in. Of course, I'm not too sure on what is the logistics of the bid yet, but I do know that, and I have heard that 70 million pounds is what it would take to make Crystal Palace open to selling the player. So certainly it's a strong figure. I have to say that, guys. But what I can say, it's an interesting move that will possibly allow this situation to happen very quickly. And good news, guys. Rodrigo to Arsenal was just a myth. Fake news. He was never moving to Arsenal. He's staying at Real Madrid. And Ezzy is probably going to Spurs, guys. Shout out to the Arsenal. You know, we did lose 1-0 yesterday, but we dominated them. Ah. on him. We'll get our revenge in the second round, guys. But on to some interesting news. And I know a lot of people have not talked about this yet because what they're talking about and what we're going to talk about after this is interestingly enough. But let's talk about Corella dello Sport. Reports coming out of Roma, Stadio Olimpico, and the manager, Gianni Gasparini himself, has stepped into the negotiation as Roma have offered £20 million guaranteed, which will be paid over the course of the next season. And of course, the player will be set in in a loan sense, but this is an obligatory clause, meaning that they have to pay the £20 million after January, before by the beginning of the summer window. And what I can say is that Roma has such a high importance of Jadon Sancho. The manager himself, direct phone call with the winger to convince him to accept the GLRSC cause, because he's going to make him a very important key player in the team. Everything is going to go through Jadon Sancho, and Sancho has responded to the manager's call, and he said, "I appreciate the direct contact, and I ask if I can have a few more days to consider before I give my answer." And currently, the contingent from Roma is waiting in London, in Manchester, to be honest, for his answer, and they don't intend to leave without Jadon Sancho. Now, this brings me to the second part of what I have to talk about Jadon Sancho, guys. The reports are that Jadon Sancho is demanding payment for the rest of his contract from Manchester United. And this is just one more year, and Man United is considering making the payment, guys. Everything to get the player out and get this situation done and get this nightmare over with, guys. And I think this is the right move for Manchester United. Some people might be thinking, we shouldn't be held to ransom to some of these players, but I implore you guys to see the greater good. And it's a situation where Man United is going to get this player out by any means. Of course, we might be making 15 million pounds on the deal afterwards, after paying Jadon Sancho off. But you know what, guys? 15 million is better than carrying this player who doesn't want to be here. And at least we're going to recoup a little something that will definitely help us out in the long run, some way, shape, or form. That £15 million can pay for the signing of Sen Lamens, guys, because it's only a 20 to 25 million pound deal to bring the Belgian winger from Royal Antwerp to Manchester United. And that £15 million can certainly get that job done, guys, in my honest opinion. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal Maniac says he let us have the ball. Everyone knows United can score in a brothel. Well, broski, I'm sorry for you, but that was the only time and the last time you will see a victory against Man United for the next 3 seasons. I promise you. When you see me in the return leg at Emirates, and I bang you up about 5 or 6, yeah, you're gonna say I told you so months ago. Yeah, it's gonna be a mauling, broski. It's gonna be embarrassing. Yeah, I promise you. You're not gonna like it. It might even be one of those record losses of Arsenal in their history. Remember that 8-2? Yeah, it might be reminiscent of that stuff. Trust me. It's coming. Yeah, promise you, it's coming. United has exposed their hands in the Baleba deal. Palace will request a huge amount for us. Well, what I was saying, Frankie, the interesting part of this situation is that Crystal Palace are the ones who has themselves set that 70 million that 70 million deal price. Now they haven't actually said that is the actual price for the player, but all reports indicate that 70 million pounds will be the asking price for his services. And Man United will be willing to pay that 70 million pounds, Frankie. And I don't think they could they could do much higher of that. Uh, I don't think Pep was right about Sancho all along, because Pep wanted Sancho to stay and Sancho left and went to Dortmund. So I think that's a little bit of a little bit of a weird one. Pep wanting him to stay, but he left and went to Dortmund. But it is what it is. Show me the money, says Frankie. And we know he's talking about Roma, Sancho. Roma is there. The money is there, guys. Trust me. Roma is there. The contingent is there. They are willing to put the money down. They are not playing right now. The only thing is holding up this deal is Sancho's decision. Man United have already agreed with Roma. This deal is basically done if Sancho says yes. If Sancho says yes tomorrow, you're going to hear Fabrizio say Sancho to Roma. I'm sure. I'm telling you guys. This is not. This is no. This is facts. Nikas says United still owe Dortmund an installment worth 17 million. That's already in the debt count, bro. That's paid. Consider that paid in the sense, in the all sense and purposes, bro. It's in the debt count for last summer's payment plan. That's much I can tell you. Georg got pickpocketed with Delit on that, says Rajat in the building. Shout out to you, Nikes, of course, as usual. It's going to be interesting to see what United do. Of course, guys, we expected Baleba. A lot of us were waiting. I had some good information that as long as Brighton was willing to sell, the player would have been a Man United player by today. But of course, Baleba the club does not want to sell. The Seagull says no, and that's where we are. Man United are making a pivot. Most of their focus, I can tell you, is on the Adam Wharton case and chase in that sense. It's what Man United are most highly likely to do from my perspective. Of course, the Morton Newman deal is not far off, and it could be one or the other. And we will have to wait on more information and confirmation to see which one United will choose. But there's certainly high expectation that United will sign another midfielder this summer, and it will most likely be one of Adam Wharton or Morton Humeland of Sporting. Of course, there's some interesting, banter. All banters aside, guys, we're gonna do a little bit, have a little bit of banter some right now. Oh man, this thing with my camera is always messing up. I don't know why I keep touching the camera thing. It always happens, guys. I don't know why. Let me hold on, guys. 1 second. Let me just change this thing really quickly. Uh, hold on. Yeah. Okay. So. It's going to be interesting. Nick, yeah, I hear that, bro, but yeah, it is what it is. Don't forget to smash the likes, guys. Of course, I wanted to find out from you guys something. There's just a little bit of banter, yeah, because I was talking to a friend today, and he was showing me some pictures, and I was like, "What is that? Did you get a tattoo behind your neck?" And he said, "Nah, bro, it's Jaden Sancho. Jaden Sancho has just got a tattoo of his girlfriend Saweetie's second name on the back of his ears, guys." Of all the decisions this guy could make, he's not deciding to go to Juventus. He's not deciding to go to Napoli. He's not deciding to go to Dortmund. He's not deciding to go to Roma. He's deciding to put a tattoo of his girlfriend's name on the back of his ear. Oh my days, guys. Oh my days. And this is a story of the kind of players that we had at United being paid 300K a week, 250 now that we're not in the Europe. It's wild. It's wild. You know what I'm saying, guys? And these guys are who we were expecting to win things. These are the guys fans were crashing out on managers for. Nah, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. These guys ain't tattooing cups. They ain't tattooing Champions Leagues. Yeah, man. Are these guys even winners? Do they even want to win trophies and titles? Guys, this is just a quick question to everyone watching, everyone in the chat. You know, Have you, do some of these players give you the feeling that they want to be the best in the world in their position? Because if a player doesn't give me that feeling, I don't think he should be at Man United, guys. It's just my honest opinion. But if a player doesn't play or give me the feeling when he speaks that he wants to be the best in the world at his position, yeah, I don't think he deserves to be at Man United wearing our kit, guys. But this is just my honest opinion. I don't know how you guys feel. You could let me know in the comments. Of course, you could let me know in the live or the non-live section if you're not watching live. But certainly, guys, take this update. It's not what I can say. It's not set in stone. Anything can still happen. There's 2 weeks left, just about 2 weeks left. There's still time for Man United to make two deals and get them done. Yeah, I know lots of you want a goalkeeper. I keep reminding you all, Sen Lamens is a deal that Man United has always set for the back end of the window. It was never dependent on Onana leaving or buying their leaving. It was never dependent on anything like that. It was always an option for a third goalkeeper who is going to compete to see if he can be second or first goalkeeper. And of course, we all know the quality of Sen Lamens. And if you haven't seen him before, check this guy out. He's done good things in the Champions League and, of course, in the Belgian League for Royal Antwerp. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens there. This deal is very cheap, guys. The player wants to move. The club is open to the move. Man United likes the player. They would like to make the move. It's only about 20 to 25 million euros. So it's an easy deal to do. And so it's always set for the back end of the window. I keep telling everyone this. The deal with Donnarumma was an opportunistic situation. There's still a possibility, but yeah, guys, it was an opportunistic situation. Of course, hopefully Donnarumma is not going to be demanding humongous wages because that would be a factor in in that decision as well. Of course, we hear confirmation from Ruben Amorim that Onana was dropped. He's not injured. He was dropped. And of course, we've seen what happened with Bayern there in the game. It was a weak moment. Of course, Saliba might have held up his arm, but guys, he has to be stronger than that. But I think after that mistake, he was pretty much decent in the game. But at the same time, some people might already have made their decision because of his connection to Ten Hag. I don't even know. But who knows if he's going to have better and better performances going forward. He might even show the makings of a keeper that deserves to be here in some way, shape, or form. It's yet to be seen. I don't think there's a sample size of 7 to 8 games consistently where we have seen him playing and performing, good or bad, to say, well, yeah, he's shit, or he's okay, or he could be second string, or he could probably compete for the first string with Onana. So hopefully now that Onana has been dropped, hopefully he gets a start for the next 3 to 5 games and maybe show some performances that might earn him a position in the team. If not, yeah, we're certainly gonna have to be getting Sen Lamens in the building, guys. Then that is the word on of the street today. This is all the information I have for you guys. Of course, it's my pleasure to bring it to you each and every time. And I hope that tomorrow I will have more confirmed information, maybe even a deal information if Man United are going to make a move, be it on Morton Hulman or on Adam Wharton. So what I would say to you guys, shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to smash a like and subscribe. Shout outs to Abraham, Man United fan for life in the building. Shout outs to you, broski. And Nick S coming in saying, I don't care where Sancho goes, as long as he gets out and we see the back of him. And this is the sentiment of, I would say, every single Man United fan in this current moment, because you know what, guys? We've had enough of his shit. It's time to go. You know? Shout outs to you all. Have a great one. It's been your boy Mark N. Red Devil Moan is on each and every single day, guys. Don't forget it, live it, and of course, you know it. Is every single one welcome. Hashtag Red Devil Mode. Drop your location or your flag because it's a global community and this is the family. Everyone is here for Manchester United. Shout out to you. Have a great day, guys.
baby.